Howdy, friends and fellow Americans. This is David Groce, your Texas tax and lawman here, tipping my Stetson to one of the most brilliant and enigmatic figures in our founding story, Thomas Jefferson, the American Sphinx. His mind was a powerhouse. Jefferson read and wrote in multiple languages. Stories from his day tell of him writing Greek with one hand and Latin with the other at the same time. A living picture of a polymath who could wrestle with the highest ideas of liberty while running plantations, designing buildings, and shaping a nation. In 1776, as a young Virginia lawyer and delegate, Jefferson was chosen to draft the Declaration of Independence. With edits from Adams, Franklin, and the committee, he gave us those immortal lines. "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." That wasn't flowery language. It was a legal and moral earthquake, rooted in a natural law tradition, in appealing directly to nature's God and the Creator who endows rights. No king or parliament can revoke. It declared the colonies free and independent states and set the high ideal that would test every generation that followed. Jefferson spent the Constitutional Convention years across the Atlantic as our minister to France. But he stayed in close touch with friend and ally James Madison, the father of the Constitution. Their letters flew back and forth. Jefferson urged a Bill of Rights to secure those unalienable liberties. Madison carried the fight in the first Congress and got it done. That collaboration helped lock the founding principle into the supreme law of the land. As our third president, Jefferson put those principles to the test in real time. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the size of the United States. Bold executive action that secured the future of the Republic. And when Chief Justice Marshall handed down Marbury versus Madison, the Supreme Court established judicial review, the power of the courts to hold the other branches accountable to the Constitution. It became one of the great checks and balances that still protects our liberty today. In retirement at Monticello, Jefferson poured his final energies into what he considered one of his three greatest achievements, founding the University of Virginia. He designed the academical village, the lawn, the rotunda, and built a curriculum for an enlightened, self-governing citizenry. No religious test for faculty or students. Broad learning in science, law, and moral philosophy. On his tombstone, at his own explicit direction, only three things are inscribed: author of the Declaration of Independence, of the Statute of Virginia for religious freedom, and father of the University of Virginia. No mention of the presidency. Those were the ideas he wanted history to remember. Now, the Sphinx had his riddles. Like many of his era, Jefferson owned slaves, hundreds over his lifetime. Virginia law and personal debts made wholesale emancipation complicated. Yet he wrote against those institutions as a moral and a political evil. And at the end of his life, in his will, he directed freedom for several of his enslaved people, including members of the Hemings family. His daughter extended informal freedom to Sally Hemings. It was not the full realization of the ideal he had penned in 1776, that all men are created equal, but it was a concrete step of assent to the truth in his own household. The high ideal he helped birth continued to work on the conscience of the nation until slavery was abolished and the promise was extended further. Thomas Jefferson died on July 4th, 1826, 50 years to the day after the declaration he authored. The Sphinx left us with profound wisdom, enduring documents, and an unfinished work. For America 250, let's remember this. The founders were not perfect men, but they gave us perfecting principles. Creator endowed rights, the rule of law, consent of the governed. These are the inheritance we defend, refine, and fulfill. This is David Groce. God bless these United States of America, and adios.